Welcome back to new session. This is continuation of integration management knowledge area. In this session, we will learn monitor and control project work process. The learning objective of this session are: we will learn purpose of monitoring and controlling project work process, differentiate between monitoring activities and controlling activities. We'll go through the process definition. We'll talk about input tool techniques and output. We'll talk about data analysis technique, what is work performance reports, and finally we'll do a quick review. Before getting into detail, let's take a quick look at 7 processes. Starting with develop project charter, develop project management plan, direct and manage project work process, manage knowledge. We are going to learn monitor and control project work process, and after this we still have 2 more processes. Those are perform integrated change control process and finally close project or phase process. To understand monitor and control project work process, let's take a step back. We started project with project charter in hand. Then we develop project management plan, which has all the 3 baselines: scope, schedule, cost, and we integrated all subsidiary plans within it. And once the PMP was done, finalized, approved, we started creating a deliverable using direct and manage project work process. So what are we doing? We are simply following the approved plan, that is PMP. So now execution is in progress, and project manager has to ensure what was agreed in the PMP is being executed. So how do we do that? Let's look at a project dashboard. Now this dashboard provides snapshot of what is happening on the project. Of course, I'm considering you as a project manager is using some project management information system which shows this dashboard. So this is where monitoring and controlling project work process helps project manager. It helps by continuously monitoring project work like resources, task status, collecting project status data and measuring them against schedule and cost. That can be SPI, CPI, that's a schedule performance index, and cost performance index. Also continuously improve by analyzing variances and recommending corrective actions. This is an iterative process which is executed throughout the project life cycle. I call this as a silent process because as a project manager, you sit in your office behind your laptop or desktop and you use your project management information system to check what is being done is as per plan or not. Let's understand difference between monitoring and controlling. Now monitoring is observation driven, so you are observing. Controlling is about corrective and preventive actions. The activities involved in monitoring are collecting information about completed tasks, completed payments, the invoices in progress, measuring information like cost performance index, schedule performance index, comparing planned versus actual like cost variance, schedule variance, and also evaluating trend. Monitoring gives the project manager idea about health of the project. Also, it helps project manager to identify areas of a project that may need special attention. So what are the activities involved in controlling? So controlling helps project manager to determine corrective and preventive actions. It's about replanning. For example, if a primary risk mitigation fails, then what's next? Maybe you need to execute a fallback plan. Follow-ups to ensure issue resolutions. So all these are the activities involved in controlling part of the monitoring controlling process. Going forward, we will be talking about lots of measurement values. So keep in mind, what you cannot measure, you cannot manage. So always work with numbers. Monitoring and controlling process is concerned with various activities. So we'll list out some of the common activities which project manager has to take care. So first one, it's about comparing actual project performance against the project management plan. So there is a performance objectives documented, agreed inside PMP. So you will be always comparing against those performance objectives. Assessing performance to determine whether any corrective or preventive actions are required, and also recommend those actions as necessary as we go on. Checking status of each risk. Risks are not constant, static. They keep changing. So you need to constantly check the status. Maintain an accurate, timely information base. So whenever you create the status report, you ensure that whatever the latest status of a project is communicated to stakeholder. Provide information to support status reporting, progress measurement and forecasting. Again, I told you this is silent process. This is where you are collecting and processing information. Provide forecast to update current cost and current schedule information. Whenever you go to management, you not only want to give a current status, but you want to forecast. For example, if you are spending more, so with this spending trend, how much more you will need? What will be the cost when project gets completed? Monitoring implementation of approved changes. Now, getting approved changes are one thing, but once the changes are approved, we as a project manager need to ensure that those approved changes get implemented. Providing appropriate reporting on the project progress and status to maybe project management office, your steering committee, or maybe if a project is a part of a program, then to the program management office. Also, you need to ensure project alignment to the business need, strategic objectives of an organization. Let's check the definition of monitor and control project work process. So this is process of tracking, reviewing and reporting a progress to meet the performance objectives defined inside project management plan. Very simple. Whatever is agreed, defined inside a project management plan, you need to track, you need to monitor against it. It allows stakeholder to understand the current state of the project, step taken, budget, schedule, or scope forecast. So if something is going bad, something is going wrong, so what is forecast? Maybe it is good or bad, but management always want to know the forecast. Lots of input tool techniques. So we will talk about inputs, tools and techniques, and outputs. Let's start with inputs. So inputs are project management plan, project documents, work performance information, agreements. Remember, agreements, contract, SLAs, enterprise environmental factor, as well as organizational process asset. Project management plan. So project management plan describes how project will be monitored and controlled. Of course, it does talk about a lot of things, but here focus is about how to monitor and control. It also gives you subsidiary plans and guidelines to analyze variances against all baseline. What are those baseline? It can be scope baseline, schedule baseline, or cost baseline. It also describes tools and processes for variance analysis, forecasting, and provide reporting templates, communication details to create specific reports and communicate them through a communication processes. Project documents. We need information from project document to integrate and contextualize work performance information, which will be shared as a work performance reports. Remember, through direct and managed project work process, lot of work performance data get generated. Now this data gets stored in different places, maybe risk related data into the risk register and so on. So you need all these documents so that you can do the analysis. So what do you get from this project document? Lesson learned register provides information on effective responses for variances and corrective and preventive actions, how to deal with those risks. Assumptions log contain information about assumptions and constraint. Project manager should always validate any assumptions that you have taken on the project. Issue log. It provides information about who is responsible for resolving issues and maybe by which date, what is the due date to resolve that issue. Risk register provides information about threats and opportunities. Of course, you do have a lot of information on the risk register. Risk report provides information on specific risk in that time period and overall project risk. Quality report. This includes quality management issues and recommendations on the processes or product improvement. Milestone list shows scheduled date for a specific milestones. It can be a project milestones, contractual milestones, etc. Cost forecast determines if a project cost is within agreed tolerance range or not. If it is not, how much more you will need to spend. Schedule forecast determines if a project schedule is within agreed tolerance range or not. Again, if you are delaying, how much more delay you are going to have. Basis of estimate explains and give you underlying data about how the estimation was done. All above information will be used for analysis and to determine corrective and preventive actions. And of course, all this analyzed information will compile into reports. Work performance information. First, let's understand how WPI is created. Work performance data gathered through various execution processes and passed on to controlling processes. For example, work performance data is generated when deliverables are created in direct and managed project work process. And this data is passed on to controlling processes. In this example, validate scope, manage quality, and control risk all are controlling processes. Data in itself cannot be used in a decision-making process. So, work performance data are compared with the PMP components, especially baselines and project document, which indicates the project performance. In this case, 20 out of 100 deliverables are completed, or 320 out of 500 test cases are executed. So this is work performance information. It makes certain sense. You can understand, yes, out of 500 test cases, 320 test cases are executed. So what we have done? We have analyzed work performance data in certain contexts. Now this work performance information is passed on to monitor and control project work process, which provides a sound foundation for project decisions. There are many controlling processes which takes work performance data as an input and generate work performance information as output. Further, this work performance information is passed on to monitoring controlling project work as an input. Next input is agreement. Agreement can be a procurement agreement, for example, contract. Agreement includes, as you know, terms and conditions, what seller is going to perform or provide, milestone, payment details, etc. If a project is outsourced part of a work, then project manager has to monitor contractors' work very closely to ensure agreements meets the specific needs of the project and it adheres to the organization's procurement policies. Enterprise environmental factor may play important role in monitoring and controlling project work process. Project management information systems such as scheduling tool, financial tool that may be used on the project. Now this tools may have built-in mechanism to do analysis and provide recommendation. Sometimes they can even generate reports and can be communicated to various stakeholders. Infrastructure facilities, like existing facilities of organization, equipment within the organization. For example, for outsourced project, it will be good if organization has a video conferencing facilities. Overall environment in organization also can play important role because that drives the expectations of various stakeholders on the project. Risk threshold, how much risk organization is willing to take. So that will drive the risk threshold level of a stakeholder who is participating on the project, which will impact how to do monitoring and controlling. Government or industry standard like quality standard, regulatory agency guidelines are a product standard. So all this enterprise environmental factor can influence the monitoring and controlling of a project. Organizational process asset. Again, there are various OPAs which can influence the project. Of course, as a project manager, I would like to influence it positively. So what are those? Policies, processes and procedures. Financial control procedure, for example, accounting code, payment terms, within how many days invoices will get processed. Monitoring and reporting methods. Issue management, how issue lifecycle is managed, what are the escalation levels. Defect management procedure, for example, how defect management happens for a software project, what are the categorization of defects, how many testing cycles are used, and so on. Organizational knowledge base like process measurements and lesson learned repository. So all these are OPA which can be useful. Tools and techniques used in monitor control project work process. Expert judgment, data analysis, decision making, and meetings. Expert judgment. Expert may help project manager to interpret the information, determine corrective preventive actions. They can be part of discussions where you discuss how to ensure project performance matches the expectations of stakeholders. Discuss work performance data which may lead to raising a change request. Expertise may be in the area of estimation, interpretation and contextualization of data, trend analysis, risk management. A lot of contract related issues will be there. So maybe contract experts can help you in contract management, earn value analysis, technical knowledge of an industry for which you are developing a project, you are delivering something. Another technique is data analysis. So data analysis can help project manager to evaluate, analyze, forecast potential outcome. So what are the different data analysis technique? They can be earn value analysis, variance analysis, trend analysis, root cause analysis, alternative analysis, cost benefit analysis. Let's see one by one. Earn value management is a performance measurement method. It provides an integrated perspective on scope, schedule, and cost performance. Trend analysis is used to forecast future performance trends based upon past result and current result. For example, look ahead in the project for expected slippage and recommend what kind of preventive actions project manager will recommend. Variance analysis helps project manager to measure the difference between actual performance and the performance baseline. For example, variance in the duration estimate, cost estimate, resource utilization, etc. Root cause analysis helps you to focus on identifying what are the main reasons of a problem, root cause of a problem. It identifies reasons for deviations and area where project manager need to focus the most. Cost benefit analysis determines best corrective action in terms of cost in case of project deviations. Alternative analysis helps select corrective and preventive actions to implement when deviation occurs. Lot of time when you analyze, you might have multiple options. So those alternatives, multiple options will give opportunity for a senior stakeholder to choose among them based upon, of course, again maybe the cost and benefit. Meetings. Meetings are tools where project team members gather and use a data analysis technique as well as expert judgment to make decisions regarding best course of action that need to be selected or taken to solve the problem. Meetings may be face to face, it might be virtual, formal, informal. Various meetings might be user group meetings, it might be review meetings, retrospective meetings. Decision making. If there are several alternatives to solve a particular problem, then the data analysis techniques like alternative analysis and cost benefit analysis are used by a project team to decide on best solution. Now, if there are no consensus on this solution, then decision making techniques can be used. So in this case, technique we are referring to is voting. So this voting technique includes maybe making a decision based upon unanimity, majority, or plurality. The outputs of monitor and control project work process are work performance reports, change requests, project management plan update, project document updates. Let's look at them in detail. Work performance reports. You know that work performance data is generated during the direct and managed project work process. This is then compared to the project management plan in control processes of various knowledge areas, which results in work performance information. Work performance information is combined, recorded, and distributed in physical or electronic form. For example, WPR includes status report, progress report. Report can contain, of course, a lot of information, but information in visual, graphical form. It might be burn down charts, it can be earn value graphs, trend lines, defect histograms, risk summary reports, forecast. They can be presented as a dashboard, hit reports, or stoplight chart. These work performance reports are useful for creating awareness and generating decisions and actions. This work performance report also acts as input to processes in executing process group as well as processes in monitoring and controlling process group. Change request. Think for a moment, if you are performing data analysis that will result in determining corrective or preventive actions, how you are going to execute them? Of course, by raising change request. Change request may expand, adjust, or reduce the project scope. It might impact quality, schedule, or cost baselines. Change request can be corrective, preventive, or defect repair. Corrective action is used to realign the performance of project work with PMP. Preventive actions ensure that future performance of the project work is aligned with the project management plan. And defect repair modifies non-conforming product. Project management plan update. Changes identified during monitoring and controlling project work process may affect overall project management plan. Change to PMP goes through organization's change control process. Project document updates. All document updates are subject to formal change control process. So what are the documents which will get updated? Changes in cost forecast are updated, recorded using cost management processes. Changes in schedule forecast are recorded using schedule management processes. Issue log record new issues raised as a result of this process. Newly identified risks are recorded into risk register. And lesson learned register is updated with responses from variances and corrective or preventive actions. Good job! You have completed one of the key processes used only by project manager, that is monitor and control project work. Let's do a quick review about topics covered so far. So of course we started with understanding what is monitoring and controlling process. Also discussed difference between monitoring and controlling activities. We talked about the process definition. We gone through input tool techniques and output. We also discussed various data analysis techniques like root cause analysis, cost benefit analysis, variance analysis, etc. And finally, we also discussed what are the work performance report. Don't get confused between direct and manage project work process and monitor and control project work process. Remember, direct and manage project work is all about creating deliverables. It's action-oriented process. Monitor and control project work is about analysis between what was planned, approved, and what is actual. And converting this analysis into work performance report, which will be shared with various stakeholders for decision purpose, for actions or awareness. Keep learning, you are doing great. See you in next session, perform integrated change control process.